Even if he was one of the brilliant students, because of his lower caste, he was never allowed to sit on first bench. All the time he had to sit on the last bench and not allowed to mix with upper class students. And maybe this behavior made him so bold to work throughout his life for the girls in India.
Where are you now? Was it all in my fantasy? Where are you now?
The danger of the simple narrative. Narrative is very important. আমরা যখনই caste বা যে কোনো ideology, social concept politics of the narrative is very important. আর narrative কে যে control করে সে ওই ideological concept এ থাকে।
Baby, I'm all about
is only given one particular thing, that is, he is a constitution drinker. No doubt. Apart from that, I am not explaining. But this particular thing, when people are restricting saying that follow our constitution, we wrote the constitution, they are fighting for particular thing. That is radical. He was a radical, true radical. He was against entire India at one particular time. No one liked him. Even at next to the things are not related to some of their institutions, okay, like Kolkata Institute of Social Sciences or some Ambedkar centers, you will get to know that a time came when people tried to assassinate.
Camino в 6 утра, разбитая душа, и все твои обещания.
I welcome you all to a lecture that will be delivered by Dr. Lekhraj Balmiki, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of Political Science, Calcutta Girls College. First, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our Principal Ma'am, Dr. Shima Chakraborty. Next, I would like to extend the welcome to the resource person, Dr. Lekhraj Balmiki. I would also like to give a warm welcome to IQAC coordinator, Ms. Chandrima Karmakar. I would also like to welcome all the members of the committee and all the teachers and students who are present here. We are here to I would also like to extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Dept Chakraborty, who has been associated with our college for many years. And we are here to not just to listen, but also to critically engage in a lecture that will be delivered by Dr. Lekhraj Balmiki. And he will be saying on the unfinished grammar of justice, Ambedkar imperative for caste, women and the world. Invite Principal Ma'am to say something on this topic.
Good morning everyone. We all members of Kasiswari College are very happy to have with us Dr. Lekhraj Balmiki to say something. Must be new words because he is an expert in this field in political science, and you all know that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is very precious for our country, for all Indian nationals. I must mention that he is the rarest of rare example of what do you know. Long ago, that time, he did PhD twice, and that also not in India, outside. And his education started in a college, in a school in Maharashtra, where even if he was one of the brilliant students, because of his lower caste, he was never allowed to sit on first bench. All the time he had to sit on the last bench and not allowed to mix with upper class students. And maybe this behavior made him so bold to work throughout his life for the Dalits in India. And he studied in University of Columbia. After passing, he did his graduation also from outside. And throughout his life he worked for Dalits and also for women. He worked a lot, and he actually, being such an intelligent person, studied very much the heart of Indian people and what to do for them. Actually, for India, he knew very well, and he was the chairperson of the committee who drafted Indian Constitution. And in the cabinet of Jawaharlal Nehru, he was the Minister of Justice. He did such a lot, even after getting so much restriction to mix with people, actually, at the beginning. And of course, ultimately, he was given Bharat Ratna also, but long after his death. After his birth, it was 99 years. In 1990, he was given Bharat Ratna, where he was born in 1891. That is, he died at the age of 65. And in 1956. Before that, he worked a lot for our Indian Constitution, so that it can help the lower caste people. Lower means actually it is being uttered, but the casteism was made by Sri Krishna. All of us, we know that, according to the performance, working field of people, there was nothing uccho, nicho. But gradually, some people take advantage of any division to make it according to different levels. Upper level, higher, lower level, lowest level, like that. And even if after so many years, but Dr. Ambedkar even could not think that such a long time India will need to enhance the society of Dalits. Actually, in Indian Constitution, all the reservations means facilitating education and also for service, getting service of the backward people. It was for 10 years, but after so many years of freedom of India, they are still lagging behind so much. Actually, it does not reach people actually needing something to do. ST, especially ST in not only in rural areas, different districts they are, and also in hilly areas they are staying totally out of reaching any government facility. And what happens? Who already got some facility, they are getting more and more, which is not needed. All the facilities should go to people who didn't get anything so far. So it is our duty of all people of India, it is our duty to reach them and do something for them so that they can come forward in every field. So today, Dr. Lekhraj will talk a lot. I just introduced and maybe you all know what I said. We should know. B.R. Ambedkar is a very famous name for us, but he could live few years more to do something. And also, the situation was that he converted to Buddhism. Just Hindu Dalits to inspire. He had to take that option. Okay, so I am grateful to the committee, our SCST committee. They have arranged such a nice program, and also our IQAC coordinator is always with us to inspire us, to be with us for any kind of help. And this program will have a great success. But what I wanted, we talked also that it could have been a much bigger program for bigger audience. But maybe the committee members say that it will be from next year. And we hope we will get Lekhraj also in near future to be with us. And students of political science are there. Right?
All the six.
Oh, he was economist also, not only political science, and also he was a justice. Many qualifications, many titles Dr. Ambedkar acquired during his life of 65. Did a lot for all of us. Thank you. Now, one minute.
खादारा मला पण मुश्किल आहे ना
Principal Ma'am to felicitate our esteemed guest.
On behalf of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Maharani Kasiswari College, I extend a very warm applause to the SCST Overseas Cell for organizing this seminar. I think it is first of its kind, so more congratulations to the cell. I'm sure we are looking forward to many more such initiatives. The topic for today is the unfinished grammar of justice, Ambedkar's intersectional imperative for caste, women and the world. As the coordinator of the IQAC, I extend a very warm gratitude to Dr. Lekhraj Balmiki, sir. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us today. And I'm sure you are going to deliver a very enlightening talk. Now, when I was going through the schedule says that I need to give a speech of 5 minutes. I'm quite wary of speeches, so I will not make any speech. but since the topic says it's the intersectionality of caste and women and the world, there is a book that I had read a long time back which had really touched my heart, and it's very close to my heart. It is coming out as a Dalit, a memoir by Yashika Dutt, published in 2019. She is a renowned journalist. She was once with NDTV, and with everyone's permission, I'll just like to read out some parts of her book because students and my colleagues here are aware. I'm a teacher of literature basically. So I'm quite guilty of repeatedly telling my students that understand the larger context. যাই পড়াই না কেন সবসময় এটাই বলা হয় যে কনটেক্সচুয়ালাইজ করো, কনটেক্সটটাকে বোঝো। তাই আজকে যখন এই টপিকটা দেখলাম যে আমরা শুধু কাস্টের ব্যাপারে জানার জন্য আসিনি, আমরা তার ইন্টিগ্রেশনগুলো জানার আজকে চেষ্টা করবো, অ্যান্ড স্পেশালি বিকজ there is also the mention of the gender to which even I belong, so I couldn't help it. So this is from that book. So with your permission, I'll just read out a little bit. This is the last chapter of the book, The Danger of the Single Narrative. Narrative is very important. আমরা যখনই কাস্ট বা যে কোনো আইডিওলজি, সোশ্যাল কোনো কনসেপ্টের ব্যাপারে কথা বলি, the politics of the narrative is very important. কারণ ন্যারেটিভকে যে কন্ট্রোল করে সেই ওই আইডিওলজি বা ওই কনসেপ্টটাকে ডিফাইন করে। সেই কারণে আজকের যে কোনো জিনিসের মাল্টিপল ন্যারেটিভস হয়, বাট উই আর সোশ্যালি কন্ডিশনড to generally believe a singular narrative which often places blinkers on our eyes. আমরা myopic হয়ে যাই। আমরা যাতে myopic না হই, আমরা যেন মাল্টিপল ন্যারেটিভসকে বোঝার চেষ্টা করি, আর শুধু একটা যে কোনো সিঙ্গল ন্যারেটিভ দ্বারা যেন আমরা কন্ডিশন না হয়ে যাই, সেটাই আমার আজকে সবাইকে বলার উদ্দেশ্য। আর আমি জানি Sir is a much better person to enlighten us on that. So without further ado, from her book, quote unquote, I started the documents of Dalit discrimination because all I saw in the media and popular entertainment were stories about victimized Dalits or those undeserving of reservation. There were no stories about people like me. Among the many messages I received after I came out as Dalit, several expressed amazement that I could speak English. এটা একটা ভীষণ কমনাল জিনিস। কেউ যদি রিজার্ভড ক্যান্ডিডেট হয় বা রিজার্ভেশন দ্বারা সে যদি চাকরি পেয়ে থাকে, সে ইংরেজি বলতে পারে, তার প্রনাউন্সিয়েশন এত পরিষ্কার, তার গায়ের রং ফর্সা। There are many such social prejudices which unfortunately still exist in our society. It was almost as if without going through horrific violence or abuse or growing up in extreme poverty in a remote rural area, I couldn't possibly be Dalit. In her immensely popular 2009 TED Talk, Nigerian author Chimananda Adeshe recalls how, as a young girl, she was shocked to find out that a family member of her domestic helper made beautiful baskets. All she had heard of his family so far was that they were poor, they belonged to the backward caste. The idea that they could also make something beautiful had never even occurred to her. Even though she only knew one story about the domestic helper's family, their poverty, it became the story that defined their lives. I think এই লাইনটা আমাদের খুব ক্লিয়ারলি বলে দেয় যে আমরা কি করে একটা মিনিং বা একটা ন্যারেটিভ ধরেই এগিয়ে যাওয়ার চেষ্টা করি। আমরা কোনোদিনই একটা কয়েনের যে আদার সাইড হতে পারে বা একটা ন্যারেটিভের যে আরেকটা পার্সপেক্টিভ হতে পারে, সেটা আমরা কোনোদিনই জানার চেষ্টা করি না। This is what Adichie calls the danger of a single story. When the rest of the country only hears of Dalits as suffering victims or reservation grabbers, it becomes their single story. They never see Dalits as actual people with full lives. So each individual, despite a Dalit, is an individual. He or she has a narrative, has a story to say, and I think we should all be better listeners and listen to their stories. On that note, thank you very much and a very warm welcome to you, sir. Please take it over.
Our speaker, Dr. Lekhraj Balmiki. Dr. Lekhraj Balmiki occupies a distinctive and necessary position within contemporary Indian political science. His intellectual journey is not merely a biographical trajectory of academic credentials, rather it embodies a criminal epistemological shift from the periphery to the center, from the lived experience of hill politics to the theoretical rigor of Dalit Bahujan Tharput. Schooled and college educated in the Darjeeling Hills, a region marked by the law of an exhausting arc of the Gorkhaland movement, Dr. Balmiki carries the imprint of a landscape where identity, territory, and citizenship are perpetually contested. This formative geography shaped his earliest questions about state power, marginality, and representation. His advanced studies at the University of North Bengal, Masters and PhD, allowed him to systematize these questions. North Bengal University, situated at the crossroads of multiple borderlands, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh and Sikkim, provided an institutional space to study not only the political theory of the hills, but also the larger exclusions inherent in mainstream Indian political discourse. It is here that Dr. Balmiki began to forge a unique synthesis. The material reality of regional ethnic movements, the Gorkhaland agitation, and the structural critique of caste, a category often deliberately silenced in the hills under the banner of ethnic unity. His doctoral work, therefore, did not simply add a footnote to existing literature. It initiated a necessary confrontation between the politics of ethnicity and the politics of caste in North Bengal. Regarding publications, Dr. Balmiki has over 10 publications in international journals, 8 in national journals of Britain, and 4 scholarly book chapters. However, the theoretical significance of this output lies not in the count, but in its intervention. His international publications spanning journals on post-colonial theory, comparative political thought, and migration studies consistently challenge the Western-centric paradigms of political theory. Simultaneously, his national journal publications in big chapters are deeply embedded in the specific political sociology of Eastern India. He has written on the crisis of political representation in the Darjeeling Hills, exposing how the Gorkhaland movement, for all its radical energies, often reproduced patriarchal and Savarna upper caste hierarchies within the Gorkha community. Perhaps the most original contribution of Dr. Balmiki to the discipline is his methodological innovation, introducing community research studies in North Bengal in general and Darjeeling in particular. This intervention must be understood against the backdrop of what he calls the overworked Gorkhaland movement. For decades, social science research in the hills remained captive to a single question: the elite brokerage. Dr. Balmiki's community research studies break this cycle. He introduced a new trend to conduct participatory action research on the issues that the Gorkhaland movement rendered invisible. Caste-based discrimination in hill temples, the sexual labor economy along the Shiliguri corridor, the migration of Dalit Gorkha women to the Gulf as domestic workers, and the politics of waste and sanitation in hill municipalities. These studies are not extractive. They are designed to produce knowledge with the community, often leading to small policy briefs submitted to panchayats and municipal boards. By doing so, Dr. Balmiki has effectively provincialized the Gorkhaland demand, not to diminish its importance, but to reveal that the hills are inhabited by multiple, often conflicting political subjects, not just a homogeneous ethnic claimant. Dr. Balmiki's research areas revolve around 4 overlapping clusters: political thought and theory, migration and diaspora studies, gender and sexuality studies, core theory history of the personal from the political. So I would like to now end by saying that Dr. Lekhraj Balmiki is not really productive academic, he is an institution builder from below. Dr. Balmiki, please.
Very good morning to everyone. Seeking the permission from our principal madam, and since we are already delayed, I was supposed to start exactly at 10. We are around 23 to 22 minutes late. So without wasting the time, I will start because I know or you have like morning classes or in the morning you have to come. You are with empty stomach, you are hungry. But I'm not made to take much time. Whenever we talk about knowledge, a knowledge without wisdom might be a dangerous thing. And that knowledge, if it is limited, it is almost gone. See the reservation. And nothing else. But if I say, without Ambedkar, the females which Okay, students are there, my teachers are there. You would have not hold that position in position which you are standing today. The proud, the dignity which you hold today was not there. Because we have many politicians during the time of independence, before independence, after independence, but there was no one who talked about Hindu code bill. Because it was a fire, no one is going to put his or her hand in that particular thing. I'll come to that. What is Hindu code bill and other things. This lecture is going to be Ambedkar. And as I was saying, that whenever we say Ambedkar, there is a very wrong notion that, okay, SC, ST reservation, this and other things. Of course, they are there. They are there. Because the entire concept of justice, whether that is in political science or in maximum of the social sciences which you read at present, it talks about justice. But what is justice itself is dynamic. That today, whatever justice you are seeing, day after tomorrow it will be something else. And that is true. You often talk about your rights. ये तो मेरा right है, ये तो मेरा left है, ये तो मेरा center. All those things are there. But imagine yourself, what is justice? Because if you do not have justice, all those rights, liberties, doesn't matter. Think. Because in political science, in our case, like I have my own brothers and sisters over here who are political scientists, the entire notion of political science is revolves around justice. Starting from the Plato's, or before that, Physiocrats, Socrates and other things, till now. But that vacuum, which was the gap, it has been filled by Ambedkar. And how he has done, he has not done only in terms of downtrodden people or the people those who are left out. No, he has also done for everyone. Women, males, kids, everyone. So we'll start. Okay. Now the unfinished grammar of justice, Ambedkar, intersectional, imperative for caste, women and the world. Three things are very important: caste, women and the world. It's not only about caste, it's not only about the women's or world, but when it comes together, you will get something in hand, or entire knowledge system. Now, the topic itself is very much interesting because it's unfinished. Say for example, you are writing an exam on justice. Okay, you are writing. All of a sudden the bell goes. Bell gun. Bell lag gaya. Kya karoge? Teacher will come. We have the right teachers. They will come and take your paper. They will not give you extra time. Same thing. When Ambedkar was writing, maximum of his works, okay, which he delivered is in series. And that justice is incomplete. Why it is incomplete? Because I have already redeemed it, that it is dynamic. Okay, now grammar you know, because if you don't understand the title, you will not understand what I am going to talk. Grammar is a set of rules and regulations how you are going to read any language, any paper, anything. Even we have a dictionary of political science published by Rutledge. We also have our own language and grammar, political science. Yes, we have our own language. You read economics, you read some other literature, but when you read political science, we have our own discovered words. And in that single word, it has an inner meaning, deeper meaning. So clear with title, no problem. If you have, okay, dear girls, it's a request, okay. If you don't clear yourself, अगर कहीं पे अटक जाते हो, पूछ लेना, आगे नहीं बढ़ेंगे हम लोग. Whether I will take permission from our principal ma'am, I will complete it in online mode, but I will complete it because this for you I have given 1 hour. This particular lecture is in 3 parts. Okay, so if you don't understand any of the parts, just let me know. Okay, now a very intelligent person is remembered only on 14th of April, and everywhere you will see speeches are given. Okay, fool chadana, ye karna, wo karna, there will be many things. And he is only given one particular thing, that is, he is the constitution maker. No doubt. Apart from that, na aage na piche. But in this particular thing, when people are what we call respecting him, saying that he is the father of our constitution, he wrote the constitution, they are hiding one particular thing, that is his radical thinking. He was a radical, true radical. He was against entire India at one particular time. No one liked him. Even at one particular, maximum of these things are not written. If you go to some Ambedkarian institutions, okay, like for Tata Institute of Social Sciences or some Ambedkar's what we call centers, you will get to know that a time came when people tried to assassinate him. They did not do that because if one Ambedkar is killed, there will be 10 Ambedkars. You know, that is the politicization of things. So they did not touch him. But his ideas were could not be separated from the people. Now, the central metaphor of justice. I'll start with that. This paper sees from a different premises. It argues Ambedkar's significance from the present lies not in his historical achievements alone, but in the systematical theoretical work which he has given us. A structured way of thinking about about inequality, its mechanism and its remedies. We have inequality, we have mechanism to solve it, okay? But the most important part which he talks, and he deliberately talked in the Constituent Assembly when it was being adopted, he talked more about remedies. Remedies are very, very important. Now, to extend the metaphor in the title, Ambedkar provided a grammar of justice, a set of analytical categories, relations, principles, and structures, diagonizes that allows us to decode the persistence of hierarchy in our own times. And this grammar remains unfinished, not because Ambedkar failed to complete it, but because justice itself is never complete. It requires each generation to learn the grammar and apply it in a new way. The paper upholds in three movements, means three parts. The first examines Ambedkar's theoretical architecture, focusing on his understanding of caste as a unique structure of graded inequality that defines reduced to class or economic determination. At this particular time, I will be talking about Marxism. Okay, in this, when I have to justify the economic area. After that, the second, explore the nexus of caste and gender, which is very, very important for you people to understand, especially the young generation. Caste and gender, demonstrating how Ambedkar identifies the control of women's autonomy and the structure leading in maintaining the caste system. And the third, expands the horizon to consider constitutional morality as Ambedkar's universal paradigm for justice. A framework that speaks not only to India but to societies grappling with legacy and hierarchy. Okay, this is just now I have talked about this particular thing, that we will be talking about graded inequality, endogamic critique of Marxism. After that we move to the nexus of power, that is from Manish Smriti, the Hindu Code Bill and intersectionality, and the whole, the universal paradigm, that is the constitutional morality, fragility and global south. Okay. Actual formation was deeply influenced by Marxism. Yet his relationship with it was critical rather than decorative. As a student of Columbia University and London School of Economics, hello, Suno, the very important thing is there. Columbia University, I am stopping in between because these are things which I have to explain. Okay, those have some urgent work. Now, in Columbia University, the vice chancellor of that particular university, he gives a call to Nehru during those days, and he says that don't leave Ambedkar from the political scenario because that person is asset for you. And at a time, he was holding many ministries during those days, Ambedkar. Though he was not liked, but still. Okay, now since he is the student of Columbia University and London School of Economics, every man has a dream to go to London School of Economics and Political Science to be their postdoc. Hardly someone gets. He engaged rigorously with Marxist thought, but he constantly maintained that Indian social formation requires an analytical framework that could account for what Marxism could not explain. The persistence of fragmentation among the oppressed. There is a fragmentation, tukde. A caste is there, even that is fragmented. Within a caste, we have multiple castes. Marxist theory posited caste as the fundamental excess of exploitation. True, one class is exploiting the other. With other forms of operation understood as secondary or superstructural. Ambedkar accepted the importance of economic exploitation, that is very important. Marx said economic is the base of every society. True, yes, of course. But argued that in India, caste preceded and structured. Caste is preceded and structured class. The logic of caste, that is endogamy, graded hierarchies into discrete, mutually antagonistic group, preventing the emergence of class consciousness. Now, how does, in Marxism we talk about class and class consciousness? Even in Indian context, we have consciousness, that is caste consciousness. In his famous work, that is Inhalation of Caste, in 1936, Ambedkar posed the question that reveals his theoretical diversion from orthodox Marxism. He took the idea, but same thing, interpretation he has with his own experiences. In his famous work, like if I say the works written by Ambedkar, the most pronounced rejected work is Annihilation of Caste in 1936. What he says in that book, why is that the masses in India do not combine to form a class? The simple answer is that they cannot combine because they are first Indians, second they are the Hindus, and third they are the caste. There is no common good, no common meeting ground. Very, very deep. We do not have commonality. Like for example, I can give you a simplest example. Today, okay, since I am dealing with you teachers, okay, but I have to deal more with you. I guarantee we do not find a common ground to make friends. Even in making friends, we look for what? How economic sound you are. Might be. हो भी सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है. ये अगर नहीं हुआ तो rare cases. Second, how beautiful you are. For example, if I have a natural, okay, अगर कोई देखने में अच्छा नहीं, I'll not make friend. I guarantee. This is the age, your age. Third, if as soon as you talk about the caste. Now caste today has changed its notion, sharing your tiffin, touching, but in those days it was very, very dangerous. Even today, your president, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, she was denied to enter the Garva Graha. Temple is there. Within the temple, inside the temple, we have a Garva Graha. That is in Jagannath, Delhi. On her birthday, she just, होता ना कि बर्थडे के दिन हम लोग जाते हैं पूजा कर अर्चना करने के लिए. गर्भगृह is always एक ओरख देते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं, what we call it. A partition is there, small partition. Okay, she was not allowed inside that. Now that particular thing has been justified again. They said she did not wanted to go. इमेजिन वो घर से चली गई मंदिर तक कि वो गर्भगृह में नहीं जाएगी, वही तो जाई गई, जाने के लिए निकली थी वो, but she was not allowed. Dangerous. Now you imagine, now try to frame एक frame बनाना, try to like movie is going on, okay, example धुरंधर, same thing. I'll tell you the entire what things you have to add. Now just imagine, try to imagine something. Your president is not allowed. Okay, come next. Most important thing is the social theory, which is very much crucial for formulation. It demonstrates that Ambedkar was not rejecting economic analysis but insisting on its specification. Class struggle does not be mechanically transplanted to Indian soil because social terrains are there by a different logic. Caste was not a form of class, nor was it reducible to class. It was a distinct system of exploitation with its own mechanism, its own history and its own effect. सच है ये बात, आज भी सच है. Now, अभी ये this is the first part. I'm coming to second part. It is much more interesting. It directly deals with you. When I say caste, I'm not straight. होता नहीं है, it doesn't exist. I have been like, there are, my relatives are there, Rajasthan. You go and ask for a water, cup of water, glass of water, cup of water, whatever. Before they give you the water, they offer you the water, they will ask you, भाई कौन सी जाति से belong है, कौन सी जाति से है, means that is a language, okay, Hindi group language, खड़ी language, भाई कौन सी जाति से है, means you belong to which caste. Moving forward, it's a journey, because caste itself is a venom which has been injected to you by your ancestors, not by you. You people are innocent, very, very innocent, you don't have to do anything. Okay, Ambedkar critique of Marxism anticipated later debates about the inadequacy of Eurocentric about theory for understanding post-colonial societies, where Marxists saw the primary contradiction in the relationship between capital and labor. Ambedkar saw a more complex field of forces with social hierarchy operating independently and prior to economic hierarchy. The site remains urgently relevant in an era where economic inequality is discussed in abstraction about the social structure that produce and reproduce it. I hope I am reaching you. वरना मेरा गला फाड़ना बहुत हो जाएगा. You are feeling boring? I wish I could arrange a cup of tea or a samosa for you. Okay. Now, moving towards the next section, I will be talking about the endogamy and the caste system. Endogamy आप सुने हो? हाँ? नहीं सुने? Oh, it's a very common. जात की रोटी जात को, जात की बेटी जात को. सुने हो? Means a female is not supposed to go for any kind of intercaste marriages, endogamy. Stick to one particular group or a community or a clan. ठीक है? You know what is the problem in the future? If, like for example, 10 to 12, okay, it's a research, it's a scientific, it does not have to do with Ambedkar. अगर किसी community, same community, if the clan marriage is going on, a day will come when the kid will have thalassemia. You know that? It's true. That is why even the doctors they say in between क्या आपके किसी कहीं पे intercaste marriage नहीं हुआ था? Because you carry genes. Okay? No one knows. Because people they don't want to talk about these things, scientific things. If I say, मैं तो विरोधी बन जाऊँगा ना. True. Anyway, coming to us female new people. If Ambedkar diverged, okay, yes. If Ambedkar diverged from the Marxists on the question of what constitutes the primary structure of exploitation, he also offered a distinctive account of how caste operates. You do not have to put an engine or a petrol, start karo. How it operates, I'll tell you now. He defines his definition of caste articulated in his famous work, Caste in India, their mechanism, genesis and development in 1916. And he says, caste is an enclosed caste. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. 5 words. If I say later, only 3 letters. That is caste enclosed class. Means class is closed. It is restricted by birth. The redefining feature of this enclosure, Ambedkar argued was endogamy. The rule that marriage must take place within the group. Endogamy creates closed hierarchical groups that are prevented from merging with others. Once endogamy is established, every other social institution must be organized around preserving it. Kingship, property, occupation, resident diet, and ritual practices all become mechanism for maintaining group purity. I'll give in my case, आप लोगों का example. From the very beginning, I had 3 sisters. Okay, one is 2 sisters. My goodness, I'm so proud of my sisters. Like when I look at them, they are so beautiful. और यहाँ था ना कि being the 2 elder, my mother and father, they were busy. उनकी शादी करनी है, लड़कियों को क्या बोलते विदा करना है, and जात का लड़का ठीक मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा, मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा, every day. And because of that, my mother did not had heart problem, she had kidney problem. Because उठते सोते बैठते एक ही चीज. I can say she was worried. Justification? No. She is not worried for her girls. She was worried for her jati, caste, and the society in which she is living. It's very dangerous, and we suffered. Because of that, we did not realize my in-laws, brother-in-laws, they were only employed. And they suffered a lot. Like for last 10 years they established. And after that, all of a sudden, I was the next, okay, I had to do all the घर का काम. झाड़ू पोछा, पटका पकाना, खाना, everything. So that is the, what we call, that is the mechanism. You don't have to go far away. घर में देखो, if your mom comes from a shopping with 2 bags, झोला भर के सब्जी, that will sit and your mother has to fill up the fridge. निकाल के रखेंगे ना? पापा रखेंगे. Rare case. Suppose day after tomorrow, you come out of that mechanism. I'm not talking about caste. I'm talking about only about the mechanism. You come out of that mechanism. Day after tomorrow, you get a very handsome home. You settle down. Okay, very happy life. And you come from our office tired. You throw your bag. Okay, and before that, your husband comes. वो आके बैठ गए हैं. And you come. You are tired. Everyone is tired. Of course, I know how tiring it is. I'm doing the same thing for last 11 years over here. I'm not supposed to have maids because why? Maid तो लटर पटर नहीं करेगी. Okay. So you come from the bazaar or office, you get your bag, okay, and you sit on a sofa, and your husband he runs to the kitchen, makes a good mug of coffee, not cup, mug of coffee, and he gives you and says, कैसा था दिन? How was the day? Jannat. What else you want? You are not going to take anything. This is the mechanism which you change. You teach your brothers. You teach day after tomorrow. Teach your kids. Office space. She is there. Do you have time? Never. Never. नहीं करोगे मुझे पता है. I know because I have suffered. दूसरे भी suffer करें ना. Don't do that. Learn. That is why we organize this kind of extension lectures. Okay. Again coming back to it is enclosed. Now I was talking about the mechanism, property, occupation, diet, even the food, it is categorized. A particular community gets a particular kind of rice is same, sabji is same, but the preparation. I will give you like Dept, friends are coming, ma'am, please help me out, okay, in this case. Okay, those who are from the upper strata, okay, they will take light food. No oily, no masala. But who's down, उसको क्या फर्क पड़ता है? मसाला हो, तेल हो, you have to feel your daily. True. And that, after generation and generation, it has become a habit. It has become a habit. अभी पता नहीं चलेगा because अभी तो आप लोग टिफिन शेयर कर रहे हो, prepared by your parents or by yourself, very much healthy. And since you people are female, you take care of your what we call appearance. Okay, ज़्यादा मोटा नहीं होना है. You have to take very healthy foods. Take care of your health. But slowly keep your mind, eyes open and see the habits, even the food habits is very much intact with the caste formation. Okay, Ambedkar focus on endogamy was theoretical significant because it reveals the gender dimension at the heart of the caste system. You have a caste system, okay, whole structure body is there, but endogamy within the community, marriage is the heart, and from there the mechanism starts. Endogamy cannot be maintained without controlling the sexuality and mobility of women. Have you seen anyone, male, even male teacher as there, I was never instructed you are supposed to marry in your own community. I was azad. अगर कह भी दिया तो rare cases are always there, but we do not make policies, formulations, okay, plans on the basis of rare case. It's in general. Males को मैं कोई नहीं बोलता है males को, but it's always on female. Now the bond, if women marry outside the group, the boundary of the group dissolves. Thus, the regulation of woman body, their chastity, their marriages, their autonomy becomes the structure. Limping pin. Limping pin means a person or a thing that is most essential part of a system. Interesting ना? पहले पता था कि female are the most important part of caste system. Caste हम लोग बोलते हैं, but they are the most poor thing, which maximum of the people they lack to make understand. How will I control my own community through caste, females? आगे बढ़े? Don't get bored, please, girls. It's very important. Okay, endogamy also produces what Ambedkar called graded inequality, a hierarchy in which every group is ranked above some and below others. Unlike a simple binary oppressed, see, binary system क्या होता है? Okay, आपको पता है binary क्या होता है? A computer works with a binary system. What is that binary? 0 and 1. In social sciences we have binary system, that is oppressed and the oppressor. Okay. Now, okay, oppressor and oppressed. Graded inequality creates multiple types of privileges and subordination. A Sudra may be oppressed. Interesting, Suno. A Sudra may be oppressed, but by the Brahman, but in turn he opposes the untouchable. This structure Ambedkar argued was the genius of the caste system. It ensures that even though who were exploited has someone below them to look down upon, preventing horizontal solidarity across groups. Again he comes back to the, I'll come back to his most neglected, rejected work, that is inhalation of caste. The system of caste is not merely a division of labor. It is also a division of laborers. It is a hierarchy in which the divisions of laborers are graded one above the other. Next. Okay. Anticipating intersectionality. Okay, this you know is very simple. Mobility, fixed work or task. Now there is a theoretical possibility. When you have a class is on base of economic cycle. If you are poor, you come down. If you are rich, you go up. Okay, you can, theoretical, it can be changed. Next, race. It is rigid, but not absolute. क्योंकि जो चीज भगवान नहीं देता है वो क्या दे देता है, वो डॉक्टर दे देता है. So it's not absolute, because even absolute truth we do not have, and that I can prove. It's a dynamic. It changes its notion. For example, if I say 2 plus 2 divided by 2, everyone knows the answer. Everyone will say 2. There will be some more intelligent people. They will say 3. I will not say 2 is wrong. 2 is correct, but half correct. But 3 is scientific, because we apply the case of odd marks. Now same thing. Race is not rigid. It can be changed. Next, boundary mechanism. Chandrima, that is purity. Next is economic position in case of caste. Visible makers. You see the visible markers over there in case of race. And hierarchical, grade inequality, stratified, binary with radiation. Now Ambedkar insights, you cannot understand inequality with tools designed from European class analysis. That is why he took ideas of Marxism or Marx. He did not totally rejected it. Some scholars are there, they often say that Ambedkar is the Marx of India. They say, sometimes they comment. How much true is that? I don't know, because I am one. Because he is the most dangerous person to be touched. His philosophy, endless work. Okay, now coming to us, this is the most important part again. Everything is important. Okay. In recent decades, the concept of intersectionality developed by legal scholar Campbell in 1989, it became central to feminist and critical race theory. Intersectionality was that different axes of operation, race, gender, class, sexuality do not operate independently, but interact to produce unique, compounded experience of subordinates. A black woman experience of discrimination is not simple the sum of racism or class sexism. It is a distinct experience at the intersection of both systems. Ambedkar framework anticipated this insight. Throughout his writing, speeches, he demonstrated an acute awareness that caste and gender could not be analyzed in isolation. I have seen many feminists. They talk much of feminism rights, liberties, empowerment without talking Ambedkar. Indian context में possible ही नहीं है. I will say it's impossible. Dalit woman he understood face a double burden operation by upper class patriarchy and by patriarchal norms within their own communities. In his testimony, okay, I'm not going to deal with this particular section. Ambedkar argued for political safeguard for Dalits while simultaneously advocating for women's rights, recognizing that the two struggles were interconnected. Now, Ambedkar at one particular time we talk about he is talking about only caste. No, he is talking about the caste, simultaneously he is also talking about the women's. कैसे थोड़ा सा सुन लिया है, इसके बाद जो सेक्शन स्टार्ट होगा हिंदू कोड बिल, you will see it was a devastating. And what was the position of females? The intersectional dimension of Ambedkar thought is perhaps most powerfully expressed in his 1942 speech to the All India Depressed Class Women's Conference. I measure the progress of a community, and it is applicable to you too, If any learned person wants to see the progress of a female, he will say the same sentence. I measure the progress of a community by the degree of progress which women have achieved. Such a. Everyone might be a Karodpati, Arabpati, Kharabpati, with but the position of the woman is not good. What is the use of that particular society? Because often it is said, if a female is learned, अगर आप पढ़े लिखे हो, automatically आपके बच्चे पढ़े लिखे आएंगे. Because I guarantee आप लोग हो, मैं हूँ, the first letter A is not by not father. अगर मम्मी नहीं हुई तो father सिखा देगा, लेकिन मम्मी ने सिखाया है. The letters, the words. You are educated because of your mother, not by your father. Father can only give taka. He does not have time. आप लोगों में तो कहा होगा कभी मम्मी ने कि तुम्हें आज पढ़ लिख के तुम इतना बड़ा बन गई हो, तुम्हें ABCD सिखाने वाली मैं हूँ. क्लेम किया है कभी? क्लेम करते हैं. And they should claim. They should claim. This is statement that I measure the progress of a community by the degree of progress which women has achieved. This statement is not merely an expression of feminist sentiments. No. Ambedkar, I told I read it in the first sentence that Ambedkar was a radical. बहुत catchy या फिर सुई, पता ना? If I say, okay, here is a pin, here is a talwar, with whom you are afraid, instantly you will say सुई, क्योंकि वो चुपती है. The way you look, Ambedkar, he was that. It reflects a theoretical position, the condition of women in the index of community justice, because woman occupies the intersection of multiple system of subordinations. लगा है कभी कि okay, I have been intersectional of multiple subordination. To access the health of a social order, one must look to those who bear the weight of its most accumulated oppression, that is the females. The burden which you carry is very heavy, very, very heavy. अगर कोई burden लड़कों के लिए दे, okay? If a male is given the same burden, I promise he will die. If that burden, not only physical, psychological, emotional, everything. Okay. For contemporary scholars and students, Ambedkar anticipatively, intersectionally offers a powerful methodological resources. It provides a way of analyzing social inequality that refuses the fragmentation of struggles into separate silos. That is, what is that silo? Caste is there, gender is there, class is somewhere else. He brought everything, one thread. Instead, it is insist on seeing the interlocking nature of system of operation and the need to integrate it rather than adaptive approach of justice. Means it has to be much more integrated when we talk about in terms of justice. देखो, one flower is there, okay? Until बहुत सारे flower बिखरे हुए हैं. Take an example. Now, when I say justice, it's very important that you need to understand the code. What is that code? You need a dhaga and a sui, mala banane ke liye. And as soon as that mala goes up, which one you prefer? Mala. Yes or no? Same thing. Same thing. छोटी चीजें हैं हम मेक करने which you have to take, okay? And you have to be what we call, you have to क्या बोलते हैं उसको? You have to stitch and make a mala. Next, the nexus of power. This is interesting. Now I will come to Hindu code. The nexus of power, woman caste and the Hindu social order. See, now I have few of my male teachers. Okay, it might be. I apologize. Like they might not agree with me at one particular time. Okay, because my words are not my words. मैं कसूरवार नहीं हूँ. कसूरवार कोई थे जो आज से 70 साल पहले गुजर चुके हैं. Okay, in 1956. It's not my word. I have to keep myself safe. Okay, we'll start. Now, what is that power? The Manusmriti was a constitutional text. We have a constitution, but before that, Manusmriti was a constitutional text for the Hindu social order. Starting with the incident, on December 25th, 1927, Ambedkar led the burning of Manusmriti. He burnt Manusmriti in Mumbai. That is the case of Mumbai. And what actually Manusmriti आप लोग ने सुना है, that is law of Manu. Now this act is often remembered as a dramatic. होता है, a hero is coming and he is burning the Manusmriti. क्या कर लोगे? Why he burnt? He gives a reason. Dramatic gesture of protest against Brahminical orthodoxy, but its significance runs deeper. Ambedkar was not merely engaging in symbolic practice, he was identifying Manusmriti as the constitutional text of hierarchical social order, one that the Indian nation state would need to explicitly reject if it was to establish a new foundation based on liberty, equality and justice. See, okay, they are busy. It happens, it's okay. हम लोग भी वैसे थे, lectures होने के बाद कुछ ऐसे ऐसे कर लेते हैं. But please, whatever you do, just keep your ears यहाँ पे. क्योंकि I told you ना, मेरी मेहनत बहुत पानी में चली जाएगी. मैं इतनी दूर से आया हूँ, मैं गर्मी में बाहर भी नहीं निकलता हूँ. Okay, now liberty, equality. So he said that if you want to have a society based on liberty, equality and fraternity, that particular book has to be burnt out, and he burnt. The Manusmriti composed approximately 2000 years back. It is not primarily a religious text in the sense of a devotion structure. It is a legal and social character codifies the rule of Varna system, hierarchy and the subordination of women. Here comes the twist. हम लोग हमेशा, मैंने कहा ना कि when people are reading Ambedkar, they read half. They do not read Ambedkar fully. Like, see, I'll give you an idea before I go. Take it, if you are a student of philosophy, political science, economics, if you don't get any topic, you take Ambedkar. My goodness, if अगर मैं बचपन से, okay, अगर मैं बता ना कि my forefather, whoever it is, they insert a cheap, अगर तब से भी बचपन से अगर मैं बोलने से अम्बेडकर करके पढ़ के भी आता ना, उसका काम जीवन भर खत्म नहीं होता है. Ambedkar can a single line cannot read Ambedkar. Before making of Pakistan, he wrote that Pakistan is going to be a total failure. He wrote that and he presented in a seminar. How you know how annihilation of caste was born? Upper caste Brahman was invited him to write a conference paper. He did not get the topic, and this fellow he wrote on annihilation of caste. Annihilation का मतलब समझते हो? Hindu order को पूरा तहस नहस करना. That is the word तहस नहस. I would have used some other word now, because he knew the evil. Everyone is sufferer. Everyone. Males, they will not say, but I am sufferer. Because what day after tomorrow I have a daughter, she will be having the same notion, same sufferings. Next. Okay. Among his provisions of Manusmriti, women are, it's very interesting, women are never independent. For now, king is writing something for this, what you call, Praja. Just listen to the words. Women are not to be independent. आग लगी ना? जी है ना? इसको तो मैं ये बोला था. In childhood, a female should be under the will of his father. I would have said should be under the father. So, na? What is will? Oof, Baba. In childhood, a female should be under the will of her father. In youth, under the will of her husband. And after her husband's death, under the will of her son. A woman should never be independent. It's import in Manusmriti, verse 8, chapter number 5, verse number 148. I'm not saying. Ma'am, I said no. Said by Manu. अभी आप लोग जो राइट लिबर्टीज ये बात करते हो ना, इमेजिन द सिचुएशन इन दोज डेज. आई टोल्ड यू ना, जस्ट इमेजिन द पिक्चर्स. टुडे यू पीपल आर ट्रीटेड एज प्रिंसेस. Yes or no? Every one of us have daughter. May they have male child also, but I promise, I swear, I'm not wrong. माँ बाप की जान बेटियों में अटकती है. Not in males. Males are aiming. Seriously, sir is there, I was there, even sir is there, the teacher is there, everyone. If your dad enters the home, the first question, where is so and so? So there was Manu is saying no will, only bill. Imagine the situation at that time. Next, सुन लो ये भी. Woman cannot inherit property independently. What danger? You are independent. Now you are earning. You will have a wish to have a property. घर, जमीन, कार, you cannot. Manu said you can have, but you cannot have independently. There has to be XYZ to help you out, to hold it. Women cannot inherit property independently. Means you have to have a male. ठीक है? Situation, imagine. Okay. The chastity of women is directly linked to the purity of caste. A woman transgression pollutes the linkage. If you go out of the group, community, you will impure the whole linkage. So you cannot go beyond your community. And okay, this is not related to women, but you can relate it. Shudras and untouchables are assigned the lowest position in the hierarchy, with their service to upper caste mandated as duty. And in these sudras or the untouchables, even we have the females. So situation was really very bad. आदमी ऐसे नहीं दिखता है. एक होता ना कि जब तक there is a very good proverb कि मम्मी खाना भी उसी को देती है जो बोलता है कि भूख लगी है, otherwise मम्मी खाना नहीं देगी. You know why? That person, because if I take you today, I take you from Calcutta and send you to keep you to the Oxford, Harvard, London School of Economics, or something. Eurocentric universities. There, the culture and the grooming will be different, because you will be in a okay. See, even in my case, I am writing an exam. Okay, can't help it. But I promise you that the remaining thing, I'll try to talk with your teacher. I'll give this online. I'll complete it. क्योंकि आधी अधूरी knowledge नहीं चाहिए हम लोगों को. So I'll come to that. Okay. I'll talk about the most important thing. Hindu Code Bill or revision work. This is very important. Now in constitutional or independent, I have talked about this. This is very important. Now, see, Hindu Code, there was a structure. So he introduced a Hindu Code Bill in the Constituent Assembly. And there is a very big story, nice story, बहुत अच्छी story है इसकी. Now what is that? That is, what was the provision? What he did? what Ambedkar did and what is being attacked or whom he attacked. Monogamy. Criminalized polygamy means in early days you can have multiple wives. Now that was criminalized. That is, patriarchal privilege was denied. Next, daughters inheritance, equal share in property, even caste continuity was paused. Intercaste marriages violated cross-caste unions, and endogamy was again what we call the attack on the endogamy. Now diverse rights, adaptation rights are there. In diverse rights, women can seek divorce, insoluble marriages, adoption rights. If a female wants to adopt or inherit, they can do that. Now wait. These things were not allowed in earlier days. So this particular bill, it took a long time to get throughout. It's not as kiya kal read kiya parso pass na. And even the people, those who helped him out in drafting the constitution, they did not support this bill. And today, because of this bill, the life of female has been changed. Today you can see the president is there, female. Today you can see CM is there, female. You see the reservations of women in parliament. पहले नहीं था वो, बहुत मुश्किल उस आदमी ने, and it was paid in installment. You know, just to pass this bill, he resigned from his ministry. He was the ministry of what we call law. Law minister was there. He resigned, and he told that what is the use of being a law minister where my own females are being suffered. It's very dangerous. What to say? At that time it was a dangerous thing to do. Today I resign now. This is important. But he sacrificed. He could have settled in some foreign universities. Okay, anyway, let's go briefly since we are. Okay, now next, constitutional morality. Okay, constitution की बात नहीं करेंगे तो अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. लेकिन there is a thing. One is political democracy. At present you are facing. Yes or no? The basic structure of every institutional has been changed. And right now, the institutions which you see today, as anything, it was very resilient and it was very strong. Because when he drafted it, they were supposed to function, not to talk. But now the basic structure has been changed. I can give you the recent examples in case before election of SIR. So things have been changed. Anyway, political democracy and social democracy. What is political democracy? It's simple. जाओ वोट दो, okay, periodical election करवा लो, उसके बाद fundamental rights enjoy कर लो. बात खत्म. But moral is much more important because this thing has to be reflected or has to be based on those things. That is a way of life. It recognizes liberty, equality, fraternity, hierarchy not embedded in everyday life. That is culture. That is culture. It has to be built. This is formal. Okay, fraternity, you know. Okay, I don't know where to end. Okay, that is the biggest problem for me. Okay, this is the last part. See, whenever we talk about Ambedkar, or even in future when we are going to talk about Ambedkar, don't talk in abstraction. Read something on him. Because I don't know who's dega nahi dega. This person will give you everything. He has answer for everything. Now, structure analysis of class, graded inequality, endogamy, distinct from class. Intersectional framework, which I have taught in the conclusion. These are the things which I have taught. Now, the most important thing which I am supposed to make a statement and leave, that is the grammar is unfinished and that it is not an invitation nor a failure. This grammar is incomplete until and unless you do not read, you do not understand. Okay, I can give you a very good idea. If you Google Indian Institute of Dalits. It's an huge organization. You will see maximum lectures, maximum videos. Okay, you just listen those things. You will feel, my goodness, this person has done so many things. Your hero might be what we call Ranveer Singh or Salman Khan or anyone. If you understand him, you will have his picture on your wall, and you will feel proud that this person, before dying, he has done so many things for us. So many things. And okay, the entire lecture engaging Ambedkar as a living theorist. He is not dead. Remember, he is a living, not a historical figure to be reserved. Refuse the fragmentation of social justice. That is the no shilos that Caste here and then I talked about that. Cultivate constitutional morality in our own institutions. When I'm saying institution, not about your college, even the offices which you are going to hold in the future, the offices which you are going to hold, even at your home, even at your associations, you have no association or the communities or the, you can practice over there. And recognize that the sentence remains unfinished. You will not end it. I have told you from the very beginning. Justice is dynamic. Recognize that the sentence remains unfinished. What we write will not determine whether the promise is fulfilled. That is why there is no full stop after fulfilled. See how technical sound I am. कभी-कभी तो अपनी भी तारीफ कर लो. So you cannot end it. Okay, and the last sentence. If we wish to maintain, this is very important, which you have to practice. If we wish to maintain democracy not merely in form, but in fact, we must realize that democracy is a model of association living, of concurrence, communicated experience. It is essential as an attitude of respect and resemblance towards fellow men. If you do not respect, whether that is small, that is whoever, कोई भी हो, even the राहों में चलने वाला beggar हो, कोई भी हो, respect. If you respect, you will see changes in your own life. Now I don't know how much justice I have tried to do with the unfinished grammar of unfinished grammar of Justice Ambedkar, intersectionality, imperative for caste, women and world, because the world part I did not touch. I know that because I was supposed to talk about the USA, Brazil, South Africa. I did not time that part. Someday, if sir organizes, might be online, but I want सुन लेना वो किसी दिन लिंक से रूम जस्ट एक घंटा भी नहीं 15 मिनट सुन लेना, सुनना बहुत जरूरी है. So if I delayed, I'm really sorry, can't help it, because we cannot leave a person who sacrificed his entire life incomplete. We can't do that. I'm not supposed to do that. Though I'm not Ambedkarian, but still, our respect is there, because of him, there are many who are living their life with head up. But now, it's very difficult. India's self is very complex. Okay, with this I end my words. I hope I have tried to give you something. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Balmiki, for such an interesting session. So, okay, so it's incomplete also, and we hope that it continues somewhere in whatever form, online, offline. But thank you so much for such an enriching session. And what I have understood is that caste and gender, they are not separate entities, but they are overlapping interlocking systems. So without any further delay, I would like to request Dr. Shorda to give the vote of thanks.
It is an honor to deliver a vote of thanks today's seminar on behalf of SC/ST OBC BPSL Organizing Committee. I extend our heartfelt gratitude to our speaker, Professor Lekhraj Balmiki, for his valuable time and inspiring words. Your presence added great significance to the events. I am thankful to our Principal Madam for sharing her valuable knowledge, and her cooperation has made this event a great success. We also thankful our IQAC coordinator and supporting and technical team always being with us. We are also thankful to our participants, my colleagues and students and other attendees in this seminar made true success. Thank you once again, and we look forward to conduct more such seminars in coming days.